So today I mostly. Oh, you're doing recording, great.
Yeah.
So when the recording is finished, both of us get a copy, right? Like.
Yeah.
Does it show up? Okay, great. Perfect. Great. So one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is there are actually two reasons. I wanted to talk to you about your life living through the pandemic in
Yeah.
Wuhan, because you are right in the center of it.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to follow up is this current flooding situation in Wuhan, because that's the latest hottest topic right now. But before that, I really want. Why don't you introduce yourself? Because
Okay.
I think we can
So basically, I don't really want to say my real name, but everyone knows me by Wuhan Laowai. Yeah, Wuhan Laowai.
Okay.
And obviously, I started. Basically, I created a YouTube channel back in January because obviously I was like in Wuhan during the pandemic, and I thought it'll be like I just wanted to document my experience from January, I think January the 27th. So I was just uploading loads of videos on YouTube, telling people about my experience, and I even posted a few videos of how to help people, because a lot of people, they actually thanked me because they were watching my videos back in like February, March, and they were like kind of preparing just in case it would like happen like overseas, which it did. A lot of people kind of like, especially the American people, they thanked me. But as you all well know, it's kind of got out of control in America. But yeah.
So what brought you to China? Like, I get you have been living there for a while, right? I
mean, I've been here for 7 years, and I've actually got a Chinese wife. My wife is from Wuhan. We met in the university in the UK many years ago, about 15, 16 years ago. So we met in the university.
You follow her to China?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because I really love China. Like the people, the food, the culture, the lifestyle. I really enjoy it so much. And like the political stuff, I kind of like ignore it. I take no notice of the political stuff in China. I just want to enjoy my life. Yeah.
Well, when you first moved to China, though, did you experience a cultural shock because it's so different?
Not really, because like when me and my wife, when we got married, we kind of stayed in the UK, and then like I kind of got used to it because my wife is Chinese, and then we would come back to Wuhan every summer for like a few months. So I kind of got used to it over the years.
You got acclimatized.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you are in Wuhan. Tell us, how did you get trapped? I mean, your life is there now. You live in Wuhan, but tell us what happened in the first, just in the days leading up to the lockdown. When did you find out about the epidemic breaking out, and when was the news that the lockdown started?
I actually found out about it around Christmas time.
Oh, wow, okay.
Christmas.
Pretty early.
Yeah, really early, yeah. So I heard it. One of my friends told me, and I was like, what? Nah, it can't be true. And 31st of December, me and my wife, we went to Hankow to watch the New Year. Like me, my wife, and a few other people, we were the only people who were like wearing masks. Everyone else, they weren't wearing masks. We heard about it again, like a few days later, just ignored it. Like there was like 10 or 20 cases. And then it really kicked off around Spring Festival, around Chinese New Year. Actually on Chinese New Year, on the day, we was in Hankow, like spending Chinese New Year with my mother-in-law and all the family. And they made an announcement on TV, on the news, saying that they're going to shut down the bridges. In Wuhan, they have so many like bridges, like the Yangtze River bridges.
The Yangtze River.
Yeah. And we was living in Guanggu, like Wuchang. We was like living in the other side of like Wuhan. So we had to get back. We had to cross the bridge before like 12 midnight. Otherwise they were going to close it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
was there traffic? Was there a traffic jam?
I see a lot of people were like driving back. I see loads of cars. Yeah. It was like around sort of 11ish. Yeah, loads of people are like rushing back. Like the
So
other
before
side.
the news was announced that there's going to be a lockdown, was there? I mean, the government did the government make any kind of announcement prior? Was there any kind of hint there's going to be a
Yeah, there
lockdown?
was.
Anything like
Yeah, there was an announcement. Obviously, I think it was like on Weibo or like on WeChat on the news as well. So
that?
the lockdown, I can't remember. I think it's about a week after Chinese New Year. Because I remember when I went back to Wuchang, we was allowed outside for about a week or so, walking around, and then there was more cases. Loads of people were dying, and then that's when they decided to like lock down the whole city and the communities.
Yeah. So I remember I'm watching this remotely on social media, and I did remember around late December, I saw on WeChat somebody posted something saying there's some mysterious lung disease in 肺炎, I guess pneumonia. Yeah, there's a mysterious pneumonia cases in Wuhan, right?
Yeah.
At the time, people thought maybe, oh my God, maybe the SARS came back. But it was just more like a rumor kind of floating around. And
Yeah.
then a few days later, there's more news, and then like the lockdown was very shocking because it was announced like that, and next, like I think it was announced on the day off, right? I believe.
Yeah. It was like the first week of lockdown was a nightmare. Loads of people, like the Chinese people, like the Wuhan people, they were like complaining. It was a nightmare trying to get food and everything like that. People wanted to go outside. The security guards wanted to let them go outside. They wanted to buy food. The supermarkets and the grocery stores were like increasing the prices like 3 or 4 times. Then the government, it did happen. And then the local government, they kind of stepped in and said, no, they punished those like grocery stores, like trying to increase the prices. And they kind of, the local community officers, they kind of arranged, I think they picked like half a dozen grocery stores to like set up like a WeChat group, some kind of WeChat group. And then we'd like order all our food in bulk on WeChat, and then we'd pay using Alipay or WeChat Pay. Then they would deliver it to the front gate, and then we'd go and collect the food. Actually, after like 2 weeks, it was really well organized.
So did they give you like a list of approved grocers to get grocery from? Is that what happened?
Yeah. It was even the government. They even gave us like free veg, free fruits, stuff like this. Yeah.
And the lockdown, when it happened, I mean, you mentioned in the beginning the supermarket were raising price. I mean, in the beginning, were you guys allowed to go to the supermarket? Allowed to go outside your building?
At the beginning, like obviously when we went back to because they just closed the bridge, you know, the Changjiang River bridges. Yeah. So when we went back to Wuchang, we was allowed outside for a week or so. So I was like going outside, like my first ever video, a few videos, I was like recording stuff. And then a week later, maybe 10 days later, they locked down the whole city and the communities. Like even like the small like towns close to Wuhan, they were like putting like dirt on the road to block the Wuhan people to escape. Yeah, it was.
I saw that. I saw that on social media. I saw them piling dirt physically on the road, like a physical roadblock to block people from escape. But they were able to also enforce lockdown on buildings because in China they have this kind of closed community, right? The community has a gate, right? Like I have a entrance gate. Normally there's a security guard there anyway.
Yeah.
You go into the residential compound, so it's a lot easier for them to enforce the lockdown.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's like it was frustrating at the beginning because like locked in your apartment. We was allowed to walk around our community, like we were allowed to go outside, but only inside our community. We wasn't allowed to go outside. But it was still like it was still like crazy, like for 3 months. For 3 months.
For my audience who might not be familiar with residential compound set up in China, there's usually 3 or 4 apartment buildings, and in the middle there's a park.
Yeah.
So you are able to walk inside the compound, basically walk around the park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but what about grocery? Like you mentioned getting groceries. So are they just all being delivered or to your door or what?
What they did, like for example, I'm so grateful my wife is Chinese. Otherwise, if I otherwise I would have like struggled. So my wife, she would like order the groceries and the food, but she would order like in bulk. All the community, like the people, they get together and they buy in bulk. And then what they do is, they buy in bulk, and then they would deliver the groceries to the front gate, and then on each bag they have like your name and stuff like this, and your telephone number. So my wife would always send me outside, because she was too afraid. She was too afraid to go outside, so I went outside, like collect the groceries, and then brought it back. It was like that for 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah. So you can still go outside of your door. You just cannot leave your compound.
Yeah. We could go outside. Yeah, and like every day that the security guards were spraying, the community, like inside the communal areas with like the disinfectant. It was crazy.
Yeah, but so people are not allowed to leave the residential compound.
No.
Okay.
No.
So what did you guys do to pass your time?
I kind of like, my wife, she's just watching like loads of TV dramas, like cooking, just this kind of stuff. And then I started watching loads of YouTube videos because I kind of got into like recording videos. I never used to do it before, but I thought I may as well like make the most of my time. So I was watching loads of videos, how to record and how to edit, all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting. And as well as that, I felt really bored. So I wanted to like kind of document my experience,
So that's when you started uploading to YouTube for daily lives in Wuhan. How long did the lockdown persist? I mean,
3 months. 3 months.
You could not leave the compound for 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. It was, so around the 8th of April, we was allowed to go outside. And then like, obviously we have like all the residents, they had to use like the QR code, like using WeChat and Alipay. You have to like scan a code, and then it tells you whether you're healthy or not. But at the beginning, the foreigners, we can't use it because we need you need an ID number, the Chinese ID. So we couldn't use it. So my wife had to go and get like a letter from the communal, the office, the community office, so we could go outside. But eventually they got like a government app. It's like this maybe you can't see it, this app.
Okay, I can see it now.
Yeah, it's like so for the foreigners, maybe it's quite slow, maybe because I've got the VPN on. But all the foreigners that are still like in Wuhan, they use this. Let me just see.
There's a specific app just for the foreigners.
Well, for the foreigners, like for obviously overseas and Taiwan residents, Hong Kong residents, So if I can...
Because you guys don't have the Chinese ID. So
no, we can't, because like my wife, she just uses WeChat and then scan the code, and that's it,
Yeah, I remember that because I was in China last year traveling, and going to the train station, the Chinese citizens, they can just scan the QR code and then they just go through. Whereas I have to go through like the 20th century way. I have to go to the counter with my passport to get my ticket. I can't just like scan because you won't recognize my passport. Obviously, it's complicated. Yeah, I remember that.
So it was crazy, and obviously there's still quite a few cases in Wuhan, like maybe not as many as like America and UK, but there's still a few.
Even today.
Yeah, because my friends, they tell me, but not as many, like a couple of dozen maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, right now so right after the lockdown ended, does that mean you can leave your residential compound, but it didn't mean you can also travel to other cities, other parts of China?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a big celebration when the lockdown?
Yeah, kind of. It was like, emotional. Like after we was allowed out, it was like a sigh of relief, basically. But the thing is, like, you know, in Wuhan, a lot of businesses, like, they closed down. Lots of people, like, and like the schools, they haven't been back since January. When was it? December, January, February, March, April, May. A long time. The schools maybe 8-9 months in Wuhan. They go back in September.
Will the school transition to online school?
Yeah, I was doing that for a little while, but my wife, she's got quite a good job, so we was okay financially for the time being. So
Yeah, I mean, it must be hard. I can imagine, because I'm in Bali, and Bali is very dependent on tourism. And right now there's no international flights coming in. So a lot of people are suffering because, you know, the tourist income is not coming as before. So I can imagine, you know, what some of these small business owners are going through right now. And today, you know, we're now in August. Are things slowly coming back to normal, or
So I would say the last few months in Wuhan, everything's like coming back to normal. Like now, like I've been out quite a lot recently, and there's loads of people out and about. There's more cars on the roads. Even the metro, the metro, there's like lots, like more people. So it's slowly getting back to normal from what I can see. Yeah.
What about masks? Is everybody still wearing masks?
Yeah. I would say 90%, maybe 95% of the people are still wearing masks in Wuhan.
And when you go to I mean, here in Bali, when we go to the supermarket, they have these people guard with a temperature scan to scan your order.
Yeah.
Do that in China too?
Yeah, we still, if you enter, like, each time I leave my community, they still take my temperature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before I had to like scan the QR code with my phone, but now it's okay. They just tell me, they just scan the temperature, and then they just let me go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they do that just at your community gate, or do they do that at train stations and
everywhere? Like
everywhere.
Yeah, the community. Like if you enter like a shopping mall, the train station, even the bus, you have to scan the QR code to get on. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like in the metro, they like fitted like an infrared, like it's kind of like a thermometer, like they can check your temperature when you go in. Yeah, it's
wow. Okay. I saw you. So, did you know anybody who were able to leave Wuhan before the lockdown ended? Like any bad friends?
Quite a few of my foreign friends, they left, and I knew people that left. They escaped. They went back, because they thought, oh, it's dangerous. I'll be safer in my home, like in my own country. And it turns out it's even worse where they are. And I feel safe in Wuhan.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like, I have a friend who left Bali to go to United States in March. And then he came back so quick. He came back he cut his trip short, and he came back in 2 weeks. And he got back just in time, just before the Bali authorities shut down the international flight. So I'm also very grateful that of all the places I could be stuck, I'm stuck in Bali. I can't complain.
It's crazy. Like obviously, the people like in America and like the UK, other countries, the people, they can't. At the beginning, they thought it was a hoax, and they were saying, "Oh, the masks, they don't help. I've been wearing a mask since like December. And
you know what? There's still people in America that think it's a hoax.
Exactly.
There's still people who are against wearing masks in the U.S. I mean, U.S. is a big country, of course. There's, when you have large enough population, you're bound to get some crazy people. Unfortunately, in U.S., those crazy people are very vocal. So you see them talking on the internet, and it's really crazy. I'm glad I'm in Bali, not back in U.S. I did notice a problem actually early on, end of February, because I have family in US, and my sister, my niece came down with pneumonia in
Oh,
February,
oh,
and because my sister was scared that she might caught COVID because
yeah,
they live in Silicon Valley and there's a lot of travel between China and US to Silicon Valley. So my sister tried to get my niece tested for
yeah,
COVID.
yeah,
She hit every single red tape because she went to the hospital. Hospital said no, we don't have the COVID
yeah,
testing case kids. You have to go contact the county health department. So she
yeah,
contacted county health department, and they told her, "Oh, sorry, your kid doesn't meet the qualification for testing because at that time the CDC in US have a very strict guidelines. Like you either have to just have recent travel history to Wuhan,
yeah.
or B, you have been in contact with a proven case of COVID." And
Oh,
they say, "Oh, sorry, your daughter doesn't qualify, so we can't test you."
oh,
And my sister couldn't believe it because she's like, the whole point of testing is to prevention, right?
yeah, yeah, of course.
But like
Yeah,
they're adamant not to test you, and it turns out it's because at that time the first batch of COVID testing kit produced in US, they were defective.
yeah,
So CDC are kind of restricting basically the number of people that apply for the testing because they just don't have enough testing kits.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
what happened is what we see today. It's a hopeless. It's a crazy. It's just so crazy in U.S. that now U.S. is like the epicenter of
yeah, yeah,
COVID-19. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not Wuhan anymore. It's U.S.
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like
Yeah.
a few months ago, the Wuhan government, they tested the whole population in Wuhan
Yeah.
in 10 days.
Wow. And
And
that's
it
because
was,
there's a new outbreak, right?
yeah, yeah. And it was free.
Yeah.
We didn't have to pay. They did it for free.
Wow.
They
Wow. Okay. What brings me to second question. I know initially the first COVID test was those thing that stuck up your nose.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Was
didn't.
that, was that very unpleasant?
They put it down like the back of your throat.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
but did they come up with a better, less invasive procedure by now, or it's still the same?
I think they're still doing that kind. Like they just get like it looks like a cotton bud. Yeah, and they just stick it down the back of your throat, and then you can have like the. Yeah, I think that's the test that they were doing when yeah. But, and then they were doing before they were doing the one up the nose. Yeah, I was kind of afraid. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now instead of sticking a rod up your nose, it's just a cotton swab.
Yeah, yeah, like the swab, like the back of your throat, like where your tonsils are, right at the back. Yeah, and you can have like a antibody test as well. Yeah, antibody test.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But is it as unpleasant as it sounds? Shoving?
No, it's all right. It wasn't too bad actually. It wasn't too bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did that. The doctors actually came to our community. I did a video on there's a video on my YouTube channel.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna have links to your YouTube videos on the bottom.
I got loads on there.
Send me the links of your best hits because you have a lot of videos. You have almost daily updates. So send me your best hits. I'll link it down below.
Yeah, I can just send you the links. Yeah, I can send you the links like to some of the more interesting videos, like when we did the testing and how we used the QR code, to scan the QR code in and out, these kind of things. Yeah, I can just send you.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So now I want to move to the second topic, which is the flooding of the Yangtze River.
Oh.
When did that start? When did that start? When did the flood start? When did the flood reach Wuhan?
It was like I would say 5 or 6 weeks ago. 5 or 6 weeks ago, yeah.
So I became aware. I mean, I was aware of flooding in China, but I didn't pay too much attention because I know Yangtze River flooding is a regular. Every summer
it floods the Yangtze River. Yeah. It's normal, yeah. It's normal because along the Yangtze River, the Changjiang and the Hanjiang, yeah, because there's two rivers in Wuhan. They built like flood defense alongside the rivers all the way along. So it happens every summer. It's kind of normal, but this year there's like more rain, but like a lot more rain compared to the previous years. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it's the largest flood since 1998. Which
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Flood. So
Yeah.
I did not I wasn't even aware there's a lot of conspiracy theory and until my friend Razid Khan direct messaged me on Twitter and he asked me, are you worried about the Three Gorges Dam? Because there's a lot of rumor that the Three Gorges Dam is close to breaking. I mean, there's like supposed to have like photos of the deformed, like the whole dam is being deformed by the pressure of flood water.
Yeah.
And it's like very scary, right? If you watch social media, it looks very scary. So,
it won't fail.
Tell me what's really going on the ground. Like you are right here at the epicenter again. So tell us what it looks like.
Let's say about 5 weeks ago, I heard about it as well. I actually heard about it on Twitter. I see it. I was like, because like on Weibo and like on WeChat, like they don't really post stuff because it's kind of sensitive kind of stuff, like because of the Chinese government. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go down and check it out. And like the first time I went in there, I could actually go in, like in Hankou, the main area. There's got like the Riverside Park, so you can walk in and you can check it out. Like the trees were like underwater the first time.
Oh.
Yeah, all the trees alongside, like along the banks. And then I went back again the following week. It was just the same. And then maybe 3 weeks ago, they actually blocked all the entrances off. They blocked it all off. So you couldn't have
the entrance to the riverside.
Yeah, the riverside. Because like the Wuhan people, they like to, maybe in like Chongqing and Nanjing, Yichang, the old people, they like to walk in along the riverside, the banks, you know, like fly kites and do all this kind of stuff. So
it's normally like a park. Like
yeah, it's like a park. So they
so you know I know, I mean I grew up in Chongqing. I was born and raised until I was 13 years old, and when I lived in China in 1980s, I used to take the river, the Yangtze boat, from Chongqing all the way down to Shanghai. So I know the river, by the time it reaches Wuhan, it's already out of these Three Gorges. It's more flat.
Yeah.
So so it's actually, Wuhan is it's actually a little bit away from the actual Three Gorges Dam.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's about,
So basically, if anything does happen to Three Gorges Dam, you guys will definitely the first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have you seen the flood level? I mean, rising dramatically in the last.
Yeah, it did. Actually, 2 months ago, I did a live stream on Periscope.
Okay.
Yeah, and the water, like because it's got like, it looks like a beach. It's got like sand by the bank, so the kids like to go down there and play in the sand and that. And this was like 2 months ago. You could walk on the sand. Yeah, and there was like people fishing on like the banks. And then when the flood came, the water was like right at the edges. It was like, it was really bad. I reckon it rose 2 or 3 meters at least, probably higher.
Wow. Wow. So, but I mean, are there any residential neighborhood that's being affected right now in Wuhan? Like, no. Okay.
No, because I got an electric bike, so I like to ride around and investigate. I did a lot of investigating, and in Hankou, I didn't see any communities that were flooded.
Okay.
No communities were flooded.
So basically, there's visible rising of water level, and all the previous recreational areas along the river has been, flooded. Underwater. Other than that, people's life hasn't really been affected in Wuhan, at least. Yeah,
everyone was kind of like safe. But if the rain continued to fall, and obviously, then it would have been a problem. Yeah, no
Is
doubt.
there a lot of chatter right now on Chinese social media or just among the ordinary folks talking about the flood and what it would mean for Wuhan right now?
Not really, because I don't really use Weibo, but obviously my wife uses it all the time, and she would have told me about it. And then Douyin, there's nothing on there. It's hard to find information on about this kind of stuff. Like at the beginning, you know, the coronavirus, people were posting loads of videos on Weibo, Youku, all these and Douyin, and then the government obviously they blocked it. Yeah, they took down loads of videos. Yeah, and I think there's a lady on Twitter. What's her name? Jennifer Zheng. Do you know her? She was. Some of the stuff that she was posting was true, but most of it was like over exaggerated. Because she posted like loads of videos, and like she's saying it was Wuhan, but I could tell by the dialects it wasn't in Wuhan. It was like some other place. Same with the flood as well.
Yeah, she's actually, I think, an anchor for the Falun Gong news media, and she now has her own show basically. I mean, she's part of the Falun Gong.
Yeah, I know this. Yeah, I know this. Yeah.
She's quite kind of infamous for just taking videos from Chinese social media and then posting on Twitter and create a big grand story around it, and then people get all excited because there's so little information, real information coming out of China, and that's why my friend was worried. So he had to ask me, you know, what is going on? You know, is Three Gorges Dam going to? I'm like, I think so. I think I would have heard something. And then I went to search on Twitter. I find, oh my God, there's all sort of crazy videos claim about the Three Gorges Dam breaking. So I did more research. It looks like, okay, that might be a little bit of exaggeration. It looks like the flood is pretty serious.
Yeah.
They said right now is third peak, right? The third flood peak has passed. But I heard there's talk there's going to be another flood peak coming in because
I think like this time of year, because I know in Chongqing, Yichang, Wuhan, it's like the rainy season. It's like monsoon. When it rains in Wuhan, it rains hard all day. All through the night. It's crazy. The rain is because I know my best friend is from Chongqing, from Jiangbei district.
Oh yeah. That's where my family live now.
That's where he lives in there. So I always keep in touch with him, and he was telling me that Chongqing was flooded, like certain areas, but it wasn't like really, really, really serious. It's probably similar to Wuhan.
Well, Chongqing is a little bit more upstream, so Chongqing is going to get it first, and then the flood is going to pass downstream. I remember the floods when I was little. I think in 1982 or 1980. Like our neighborhood, the flood water reached our neighborhood where my grandparents were living. My grandparents' house was okay, but the house below them got flooded because Chongqing is built on a hill. It's level. So like just a level below them got flooded. But my grandparents' house were just okay. They were just above the water. I remember.
I know in Chongqing there's lots of mountains and like walking like this up and down, up and down. I know all the people in Chongqing, they're very slim, and very fit because they have to walk up.
Like that's funny because in the 1980s, right, people's image of China is everybody ride on bicycle, right? And I came to US, I actually didn't know how to ride a bike before I came to US, and people are like, "What? You call yourself Chinese?" I'm like, "Look, I'm from a mountain city, right? Like you have to be super buff to ride a bike all day up and down the mountain. It's like you have to be like hardcore cyclist. Most people walk or takes a bus."
So I don't think like the Three Gorges Dam, it won't fail, no way. But I think there'll be more floods. There'll be more floods, no doubt, because the weather forecast maybe for maybe next week, end of this week, next week looks like it's going to rain pretty much every day. So
yeah, I know there on YouTube there's actually a live stream of the Three Gorges Dam, the floodgate. You know, they're opening the floodgate right now to relieve some of the water pressure on the dam.
yeah,
And I think people can go, you know, look for it. Maybe I can find it and then put a link down below.
yeah, oh yeah, because the water levels have gone down in Wuhan, so maybe that they're going to release it, and then the water levels will rise again in Wuhan.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Because you know, like obviously this is something being very closely watched, and I don't think it's even, especially today in days of satellites. I don't think it's a lot harder to do any kind of effective cover up.
Yeah.
You know, for 3 miles up, you know, satellites can see everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because next week, me and my wife, we're going to the Three Gorges Dam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, are you just going there to see what's going on?
Yeah, we're gonna go there like next week. We're gonna go to like Yichang and like Three Gorges Dam, and then on the way back, we're gonna stop off in Jingzhou, you know, in Hubei. Jingzhou.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a small city, but it's got a lot of history to it. So
yeah, it's a very important city during Three Kingdoms period. So
yeah.
A lot of people who are familiar with the Romance of Three Kingdoms story, you know, they would know about Jingzhou because a lot of things happen.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. It'll be interesting. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. So now you guys are free to travel again, inside China at least.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think my wife is calling me. So maybe we could have another like video call. Maybe another time, and I could send you like those videos on YouTube.
I'm pretty satisfied with the information so far getting from you, but I'm looking for the update. I'm looking for the Three Gorges Dam update from you.
Okay, thank you ever so much. Yeah, it's good talking to you.
Yeah, definitely. We'll do this again.
Yeah. Take care. Okay. Bye.
Right, bye. Okay, so when do I get the video?
I can send you. Wait.
Do I get it here? Oh, there's a stop video.
Yeah.